Hi everyone. Are you a mom that is struggling with the emotional impact of dealing with a strained relationship with your adult child? We're going to talk about that today. So for those of you that are brand new here to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I am a mom who walked a very difficult road with my own daughter for over 10 years. And while her life spiraled out of control, so did mine. And I promise you it does not have to be that way. And so now let's dive into this subject because this is so prevalent. And I know if you are just at the beginning of this journey, this difficult season that you're in with your child, if you're at the beginning and you're not even anticipating and you don't know what the future holds with all of this, I'm so glad you're watching this because it's one of the most important pieces in the sense of knowing the impact if you don't do something about it, the impact that it has on our lives as a mom. And so I want to talk about the emotional impact today and what do you do about it? So the emotional impact can be devastating in the sense of if you don't take care of yourself in the process, it'll turn into something physical. And that's what happened to me. And I'm going to talk about that in the near future more. I want to do a video on that specifically because so many of you have asked me about what that looked like for me. But one of the things, first of all, self-compassion. That's one of the things that we as moms don't know how to do very well. At least I didn't. And a lot of the moms that I work with didn't start out doing it well either. And that's okay. It's a learned thing because we're mom and we tend to care for everyone else and we forget about ourselves. And so self-compassion and figuring out, your worth is not defined by your child's behavior. Regardless of what your son or daughter is doing right now, do we have an impact on their life and do we have an impact on some of the choices that they make? Sure, right? We raised them, but it's not our fault that they do these things. They have to be responsible for their own actions. Again, we're talking about adult children here. We're not talking about early teens or anything like that. You having self-compassion for yourself and being kind to yourself. And what does that look like? Well, self-care is huge. And I talk about it all the time, and I will continue to talk about it all the time because it is so important. You need to find activities in your own life that bring you joy. Let me ask you that question. When is the last time that you have consciously done something that brings you joy? Not your family, not your spouse, not your child, not anyone but you. What makes you happy? What makes you tick? And you may not even know. You may say, I have no joy in my life right now, and I have no idea what brings me joy. And that's okay. And that's where journaling comes in, meditation, prayer, all these things that really get to the core of what is going on within yourself. And you want to being able to take care of yourself, right? So when you're able to find that a little, even just a spark of joy is all it takes to get started. And things like exercise and taking care of yourself and eating healthy, seeking support from, the people closest to you. However, when I say that, I want you to remember, because this is something I talk a lot about in my group coaching program with my moms. We talk about who's in your inner circle. Well, self-care includes paying attention to who are the people that you want to converse with about what's going on with your child. It doesn't have to be everybody you know. You need to be very selective. And I have several videos on that. But really seeking that support from people who've been there, right? You need, just like anything else in life, you want a coach such as myself or someone else who has walked the walk, who has been there and have come out the other side. And then lastly, I want to talk about control. We need to focus on what we can control because we tend to focus on all the things we can't control, right? Because if we just paid attention to what we could control, you have no idea how much your life can change. But we tend to, as moms, sit back and focus on our children's decisions, all the coulda, shoulda, woulda. We focus on our guilt. We focus on all these things that we have, many of those that we have no control over. Where if we just look at ourselves first and figure out what can we control. because that's going to help control your anxiety. It's going to help control your stress. It's going to help control your overwhelm. And by focusing on what you can control, it helps make you feel more empowered and maybe even less helpless in the situation that you're in. So I hope that helps you today. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about practicing better self-compassion for yourself, engaging in that self-care, which is a huge topic, but also focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. And so if you're someone that needs help identifying all of those things and wanting to dig deeper and really ready to do the work, then I want you to click the link below. It says Discovery Call. And that's an opportunity for you and I to have a 30-minute conversation. I want to hear more about what's going on with your child, but then I want to hear most about what's going on with you, because that's where I can help you. So I can't change your child. You can't change your child, but you can change you, and I can help you. So I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care.